Alrighty, folks, we are live. Welcome, welcome. It is early Sunday morning. I hope you guys are doing well. Hope your weekend is going well so far and you had a great week. I just wanted to hop on live here quickly because we have this new report that's coming out from WAPO, Washington Post, and it's in regards to Social Security. And the fact is we'll be blunt here. The system is broken. It has failed, and we are still feeling the lingering effects from the pandemic. And the SSA they just can't seem to get their act together. They can't seem to get things straight and fix the problems that have been going on for so long. Not just with one particular benefit like Social Security, but everything when it comes to disability, when it comes to Social Security, all benefits, Social Security, the system is being run very, very poorly. And we need a change here in this country, and it needs to happen very fast. We need to see some action taken from the Congress or the president because, unfortunately, it is just getting ridiculous. And I think people are seeing this, and it's not being hidden anymore. And I think people are really reaching that breaking point. But with that being said, I want to keep this live as short as possible. Don't want to drag it on too long, but I want to discuss this new report. Let's get started and dive right in just a moment here. We'll do a quick sound check on my end. Let's see where you guys are tuning in from, city, state, location, whatever you want to tell us. We do have some new faces and some familiar faces as well. We've gotten so many new subscribers hopping on board in these last couple weeks. I appreciate all of your support. Remember, next cash giveaway will be at 20,000 subscribers, which I think we could reach it by the end of next week because we're only about like 70 away. So that's going to be a next cash giveaway, right? So 20,000 subscribers is when our next cash giveaway will be announced. Again, that's double the amount of cash that we gave away at 10K. And then also, if this video gets to 500 likes, we'll do a cash giveaway where we give away $100 to a few of you, a lucky subscribers. So a couple of opportunities for you guys to make some cashola. All on me, just for my kindness and my gratitude of you guys and you supporting the channel. Thank you so much. All right, we have some people tuning in here, seeing the live chat. If you're watching the replay, let us know in the comment section down below. Say replay. I think we do sound good here on my end, and you guys seem to hear me well. So with that being said, I think we can get started and dive right in. So what is the WAPO now reporting? Well, the fact is that 6 months, this is now half a year, after reopening its field offices, the SSA, or Social Security Administration, after opening these offices to the public, is still struggling to restore basic customer services and is assisting millions fewer of our most vulnerable people. That's the poor, the elderly, the disabled. These people have been seeking the SSA's help even before the pandemic began, according to federal data, and they're still not receiving that assistance, still not receiving that help. And the SSA is truly not doing anything to mitigate and assist these people in this time of hardship and pain that so many of you are going through right now. And the fact is that this is the last thing that the American people need or want is more problems, more headaches. And even as prolonged office closures cause applications for disability benefits to plunge, the sluggish response now of the agency meant to assist the country's most at-risk citizens has now led to delays in processing claims for those who managed to file them and exhausting waits outside the government offices around the country for those trying to. So it's just a domino effect here, and you're just seeing this massive, breach and dereliction of duty from the SSA. They're supposed to help these people, but the fact is that their poorly run system is not getting the job done, and it is just causing absolute turmoil and chaos. In fact, it's getting so bad. Wait till you guys hear this. This is truly how bad it's getting. Nearly 20% of field offices have had 40 or more customers in line on multiple days when doors opened, according to data from the SSA that they recently provided to Congress. And the long queues have raised tempers and safety concerns. It is now dangerous to wait outside a Social Security office. It is now dangerous. You are now putting yourself at risk, in peril, if you try to apply for Social Security. And we're seeing this play out in real life. Here's why. In one case, one person fainted in line outside the office in Laredo, Texas. Fainted outside the office trying to get their SSA benefits. Others in Florida have slept outside overnight to secure a spot for the next morning. You would think this is a third world country, folks. This is not. This is the United States of America. And You would also think that, this is like a Black Friday sale at Walmart or something, but no, this is not what this is. It's not like some optional want here, right? This is an actual need for you guys to survive, and you guys can't even get into the offices. Social Security's remedy is to push customers to get help by phone or online, but fast service using those options for many is proving just as elusive. In other words, what's going on in this country with access to broadband and internet connection, that is certainly playing a role here and is hurting many, many people. And the fact is that unfortunately a lot of these vulnerable people, like our disabled, our seniors, unfortunately they do not have access to internet in most cases. And it's not easy for them to do so. And they can't necessarily get to a library or public place where, they would be able to use those services because of perhaps their disability or their age. Or maybe they don't have resources, they don't have people that could get them to those places. There's so many different factors and reasons here, and we really need an outreach support system. Maybe if the SSA could actually reach out to people and try to help them one by one, case by case basis, I think that would help a lot more. And we saw this during the pandemic. The government was able to reach people, via marketing campaigns, and they were, lending out their hand. But that was just temporary. It was fleeting. That was just for pandemic-related relief. But from April, when the 1,230 local offices began to reopen, through mid-August, the number of people helped by Social Security staff members had dropped by 46% from the 43 million visitors served annually before the coronavirus struck, according to data that Social Security officials have now shared with national disability advocates. Visits have edged up in recent weeks, so that's a good sign, but remain well below pre-pandemic levels, according to internal agency data and congressional offices. Those seeking disability benefits are far more dependent on in-person visits than retirees and others needing service from Social Security, as they often lack phones or access to the internet and must turn over their original birth certificates, driver's licenses, and other documents. And, it's not an easy task for someone my age that has grown up with the internet and is in the digital era. That's something that I could do, within a matter of seconds, but that is simply not the case for someone that might be disabled or, or they are of age and they're not able to provide these very necessary documents to get the help and benefits that they need. So the extreme measures required from them have deepened questions about the capacity of a major federal department that serves as the last lifeline for many Americans. Acknowledging delays in service and long waits for disability decisions, Social Security officials took the unusual step last month of pleading with Congress for an extra $800 million as lawmakers negotiated a temporary budget for the new fiscal year. Congress last week approved about $90 million in the temporary spending package that expires December 16th. So that's under or a little bit over 10% of the money that is necessary in order to get these systems running and back to pre-pandemic levels. So that way we can actually help the American people and make sure that anyone that needs assistance and help ultimately gets it. Social Security officials have blamed the stumbles on a staffing crisis and inadequate budgets, but there are many causes, according to lawmakers, current and former Social Security officials, and advocates for the disabled: the power of the agency's labor unions, a hesitance to make temporary pandemic workarounds permanent, and an absence of permanent leadership. So all of these factors are at play here and are all contributing to what we now have is essentially a disaster, if we're being honest. Now, according to Jeff Larson, who is a Houston-based attorney with Lone Star Legal Aid who specializes in the disability system, they have always been slow, but it's much slower now. There's more friction in the system. So this is a fact, guys. This is not an illusion or just an opinion. It's not biased. This is a fact. The SSA, post-pandemic, is now really a broken system, and there is nothing that is working here. At 6 a.m. one Thursday this summer, a line already was waiting outside the doors of a tan brick building off Interstate 69 in Houston that houses the local Social Security office 12 miles northeast of a downtown skyline built by oil and gas riches. I know we have a lot of Texas viewers. Let us know if you are tuning in from the state of Texas. The merciless sun bore down on women, shielding themselves with umbrellas. Sweating men in shorts and baseball caps held their vital documents in plastic bags, and the only place to sit was a pipe railing that ran the length of the front wall. So in other words, if you want to go to that office, you got to wait outside, and there's nowhere to sit. You got to stand outside in the beating sun, which a lot of states are experiencing, that high climate. And for example, Freddie Myers, 80 years old, had come by bus and leaned on his cane as he took his place in the queue, desperate for Social Security to restore a monthly $440 disability check that someone in his rooming house had stolen. And then you have another case here. Teresa Bernedic, 65 years old, disabled after a fall, had come in hope of finding out why Social Security had not processed an appeal of her application for benefits, turned down in the year of 2020, and then lost in the chaos of unopened mail and handoffs from claims representatives during the pandemic. Every time we got someone on the phone, it was a different answer, according to that particular person's husband. And at 7:55 a.m., a security guard came out and placed a sign in front of the door with a message in English and Spanish. Today's estimated wait time would be 2 hours, it said. And here's the punchline: it was already 96 degrees. And that is 2 hours in the sun. And the line swelled with need accumulated over the last 2.5 years since Social Security shuttered the building on Aldine Mail Route Road and its entire network of field offices at the start of the pandemic in 2020, sending employees home to telework, which proved to be not sufficient enough for our American people. About 15 million Americans received disability benefits before the pandemic through the federal government's 2 disability programs, one for disabled people with work histories, or a separate program known as Supplemental Security Income for poor, aging, or disabled people who have not been able to work. The maximum SSI benefit for individuals is $10,092 a year, about 3/4 of the federal poverty level. And since the field offices began to reopen in April, their staffs had helped millions of Americans with retirement decisions, enrolled them in Medicare, distributed Social Security cards to new immigrants, and processed replacement cards. Yet the current fall-off in visitors to field offices is only partially explained by a shift to the internet and phone service that the agency has encouraged. And the Washington Post essentially goes on to detail here, many case studies and examples of how terrible the system is and why everything is so broken. Talking about the disabled and our elderly and the fact that they just cannot get the help and the office closures and the data as far as, claims and what percentage of people are getting help. And so this is a very interesting piece by the WAPO, and I think it was really eye-opening for so many people. And I think this is really an important piece of literature, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video and understand that, we're going to have to take some action here, whether that's getting people out of office, getting people in office. Obviously, it's very important to vote. Next month, midterm elections, your vote does matter and it does count, especially in your localities and your state elections. That is so important, especially with the midterms. So just understand that, and I know you guys already know this for the most part, but I think more and more Americans, even people that are not necessarily on Social Security, are starting to realize this. And I think on the behalf of Social Security recipients, I think they're going to start to take some action and start to make their voices heard as well. So with that being said, guys, I do hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you got value out of it. If you did, go ahead and smash the like button. I'd appreciate that. Make sure you are subscribed to this channel and have notifications turned on. And also, guys, if you want to get some free stocks, all mail free, use the links down below in the description of this video. Sign up with the brokerage platforms or Robinhood and or Webull. You'll get some free stocks, some of them valued to thousands of dollars in some cases. So let us know what stocks you get. And if you want to connect me on social media, I am on Instagram, I'm on TikTok, I am on Facebook. Use the social links down below. And I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend. Take care for now.